Hi, this is Mark from LongIslandWatch.com, and today I'm going to give you just a little talk. There's going to be no watches today, I'm sorry, but last Sunday there was a big announcement that came out of Switzerland, and the Swatch Group, you may have heard about this, you may have not, and that's why I'm kind of just doing just a short video on it. The Swatch Group announced that they will not be attending BaselWorld in 2019, and this came as kind of a surprise to some. It's almost like calling a bluff. But just in case you don't know, the Swatch Group is a tremendous umbrella that encompasses many, many companies, Omega, Longines, Hamilton, obviously Edda Movement. There's like 18 brands of watches that report up to Swatch. So it's not just the plastic watches. This is, one of the biggest players that attends the fair besides Patek, Rolex, LVMH, those other big conglomerate companies. But what does this mean to the fair, and why did it happen, and what does it mean for the future? And I guess I commented on this after Basel in March, where the fair has been getting smaller and smaller. From 2017 to 2018, they saw a tremendous reduction in exhibitors, and they're going to see a tremendous reduction, or a pretty decent reduction, again from 18 to 19, and especially without these 18 companies attending, or 18 watch brands, however many it is. I'm pulling the number. I think it's 18. But what does it mean for the show? Well, it's kind of like what I said in March. When less companies attend, less vendors like myself want to go there because there's less for us to see and do, and then maybe we don't come. And then next year, the vendors and manufacturers who are there say, hey, less people are coming, we're not going to come. And it's a cycle that constantly just keeps repeating until the show, kind of wanders into nothing. And that's sort of what happened in the USA to what is known as the JCK show. The watch section is just becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. Years ago, I used to attend a show in New York called the JA show. I haven't gone to that in a number of years simply because there basically are no watch companies that attend that jewelry show anymore. BaselWorld has always been a watch show first. Jewelry is kind of second. So for this to happen is kind of significant. And, believe who you want. BaselWorld, the fact is BaselWorld, the fair, is not run by the watch industry. It's run by, a separate company. And they're obviously concerned only with their own profits. They're not looking out for the watch industry, whereas all the people attending the show, people like myself, regular customers, your customers are allowed in. It's a hefty fee to pay for a daily ticket, but customers are allowed in. And the vendors and manufacturers that are there exhibiting their goods, they're not, or they claim they're not consulted on any of the moves that the show is making. And couple all of that with the thing that I bring to you every day, the internet, shopping online. It's just a totally different paradigm than it was 20 or 30 years ago, and everything is changing. And actually, for Swatch to kind of step up and say this, it actually surprises me a little bit, because they are very entrenched in, olden days kind of stuff. A lot of the management is older, and they went through the 80s and 90s where everything was store-based. And now you come into this world where, well, not really. More and more people are just going online. So Swatch figures, why should I spend whatever it is, $50 million to attend the fair, put up the booths, pay for people to travel, blah, 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 when I can just do, I can go to different towns all over the world for much less and, meet the customer that way. What Basel has always been for a lot of people, and for the few times that I've gone as well, is that it's a meeting place. A lot of people meet there. So maybe I'm not interested in seeing a certain brand, but there's a person that I know that works there, and I want to just, you make connections. A lot of this industry is just about, retaining connections, saying hi, and that way if something good does come around later from that person, maybe you're the first person they think of. I would say that most people kind of surprised by the move. It is a big move. I mean, this is this is history. This is tradition that brands attend the show. If you're a watch brand and you want to be somebody, you go to this. You go to the show. And now for Swatch to say, you know what, we don't need the show in 2019. Will they return in 2020? Who knows? But it seems like the company that runs the exhibition needs to really make some adjustments so that so that they can attract Swatch back the next year, perhaps, or is now? So now you get into the point: is the show really necessary? What does it bring to the table? You know, people that are running jewelry stores and all of this stuff, are they still taking the time off 4 or 5 days to go to Basel and check things out? Probably not. So, in my opinion, this whole show is almost a showing of goodwill from all of these brands to show the vendors and the customer what they'll be coming out with. There's no sales at the show. There's no consumer sales. Maybe there's orders being written by vendors. But it's a tremendous amount of goodwill, and it's a place for them to broadcast their wares. But do you really need that? Again, it's just the same brick and mortar versus internet mentality. Why should I open a store on Long Island to sell watches when I can just publish a video about it, or I can throw an ad out there, or whatever, and it has the potential to be seen by billions of people around the world? It just doesn't make any sense, and perhaps that's the way the show is going. It's too early to tell, but it'll be interesting to see what develops. I already booked my hotel for there, and actually, this is funny, before I conclude, just out of curiosity, because you've heard it before, Switzerland's very expensive, and around the Basel Fair time, it's extremely expensive. Everybody doubles and triples their prices. It's ridiculous. So last year, 2 years ago, I stayed in Zurich. Last year, I stayed in a little town in Germany, and then this year, I was just curious. Hey, now that this announcement was made, let me see. There's a couple hotels literally right outside the fair. Let me see if their rates are coming down. No, thousands and thousands of dollars, and you have to guarantee a reservation for the entire length of the fair, even if you're not staying for the entire length of the fair. So just gives you something, sort of the mentality that's going on that, man, it's just a money machine. And until people see it as more than a money machine, then I don't know what's going to happen in the future. So it has been Mark from LongIslandWatch.com talking to you a little bit about BaselWorld and what's going to happen in the future. Who knows? Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. If you have any questions or comments, I'm sure a lot of people will have comments. I'd love to read what the consumer has to say because I'm giving you the vendor's perspective. I'd love to see what the consumer has to say. Put them down below. Love to read them. And let's see what happens. I'll check you out in the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.